Welcome back to GenXer versus GenAI. Today I'm going to tackle GPTs, specifically the Data Analyst GPT by OpenAI. Please note that it requires a premium subscription to OpenAI, but after today I think you'll see that it's totally worth it. As a lot of you may know, I'm a management consultant and I spend a lot of time looking at data. Unfortunately for me, I'm not actually really all that good with data. I can whack my way through Excel, but is really painful to watch and it's kind of slow. For me, the real power of GenAI will be when it can do data analysis and processing. Well, buckle up, folks, because I think we're just about there. What you're going to see today blows me away. This is just the beginning, and I probably am going to use only a tiny fraction of the power that's behind this because guess what? I'm still learning. Let's just talk about the data set that I have. If you're interested in a greater exploration of this, in my new book, How to Hack Your Supply Chain, I do have a bit about what the thought process was of how I came up with this data set. So my data set sits in Airtable. And what it is I track all of my daily activity, whether I wrote for 30 minutes a day, watched YouTube for 30 minutes a day, whether I exercise for 30 minutes a day. I also collect all of my Apple Watch data, and you can see it all here. Now, those of you that do data analysis, you're going to notice something straight off the bat, that having yeses and nos makes it hard for analysis. But as you'll see in a little bit, that doesn't matter anymore. The reason I use yeses and nos is because it's more pleasing to the eye. It's also why I use Airtable versus Excel. There's nothing wrong with Excel. What I love is Airtable has the color coding, which for me as a human makes it easier to keep track of and look at. So you can see that I capture date and day of the week and whether or not I did these tasks. You'll also see the NAs. The NAs refer to before I started actually tracking that metric. Now, to get this into GPT, what I need to do is download it as a CSV file. And once it says CSV file, I can just drop it into GPT Data Analyst. Now, I'm going to take a detour here and just open it in Excel just so you can see what it looks like in the interim so that there's no funny business going on in the background. And so what I've done is I've just opened it in Excel briefly, and you can see it's all the same data, just exported from Airtable and into a CSV file. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to GPT, and you'll notice that there's a little link in the upper left that says Explore GPTs, and I'm going to click on that, and there's a search bar, and if I click search, you'll see that I have searched for data analyst before, and I click data analyst, and now I'm in the data analyst GPT. So just like we have Chat GPT, this is data analyst GPT. And the first thing I'm going to do is just upload or drag and drop my CSV file into the window here. That's all it is. And what it's going to do, it's going to upload the data, it's going to interpret the columns, and it's going to understand what it is. And if I just do a visualize of the actual data itself, you get to see what comes back. It's pretty powerful. And what you'll notice is what comes back is the NaN values. And so actually I'm going to do two things combined all at once. I'm going to tell it to convert all yeses to ones and all nos to zeros. And I'm going to tell it to convert all NAs or non-applicables to zeros as well, because that'll make it easier for it to do the data analysis. And so notice that it goes through and it does all that. And so what do I want to do next? Let me ask it to show activity participation over time. So now I can do view comparison of activities and look at what it does. It analyzes it. It calculates all the times that I did the particular activity. So essentially, yes, every time that I did an activity by day, and it counts them up. And you can see that here. And in a very simple bar chart. I can ask simple questions like how many times exercise is over 60. And what that means is on my Apple Watch, it's collecting whether I did 60 minutes of exercise or not. And so if that number is above 60, I want to know that I actually closed that ring. For those of you that have Apple Watches, it tracks the rings. And it tells me that that on 79 occasions I actually did that. I can also do show distribution of day of the week where exercise is more than 60, because I'd be curious to see on what days I actually achieve greater than 60 minutes of exercise. And you can see it's pretty evenly distributed. And here I can ask it to show the distribution of the day of the week where the step count is greater than 10,000. And again, you can see that it's pretty much the same across the whole week. Oh, and one other great feature about this is Data Analyst GPT will help you understand the quality of your data, because a lot of my data is input manually by me. Well, actually most of it is, other than my Apple Watch. Sometimes I make mistakes. So I can ask Data Analyst GPT, are there duplicate dates? And as you can see, it comes back with, there are 3 duplicate dates. Or I could say, which dates are duplicates? And it'll identify the 3 that are duplicates, and then I can go back and fix them in Airtable. The other thing that it can do is I can ask if there's any dates that are missing. And as you can see here, it comes back and tells me which 4 dates are missing from my data set. So I can go back and clean the source data. Well, there you have it, folks. GenXer has 2 successes with GenAI. If you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.